Hi there, Scott from North Dakota Livestock. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on talking about electric fencing or temporary electric fencing. It's great for mob, cell, whatever type of grazing you want to call it. It's also good for around the garden, keeping animals or other types of rodents out. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different uses. Even if you have a big tree that falls on your barbed wire and you need to get out there quick to keep your cows out of the nearby field, you can just put up a little perimeter and you're good to go while you fix the fence. So let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about posts, what your options are, what might be good for your particular situation. So first, we're going to talk about the more permanent option, and that is your regular T-posts. Everybody has them. They work great for both electric and barbed wire. But you need an additional clip to go onto here to be able to keep it away from being grounded. Looks like I have a couple of birds with me here today, so if you hear the little chirps, that's our bird friends, I guess. So anyway, but you have a couple options, and when you buy the clips, be very careful what you're buying. Read carefully. Some only go on a certain side of the post, so like the face or the back. And others, like this one, go on both sides. So just be aware, depending on your situation, if you want to run them all on one side of the T-post, you want to make sure you buy them for that particular kind. So anyway, some that are flush don't get caught on things that walk by. Others that are a little bit further out do get caught occasionally, but they stay away from like a barbed wire if you're running a combination of barbed wire and electric. So that's that. Another more permanent option is a fiberglass type of post. These go in and out of the ground just as easy as the T-posts. You can use a sledgehammer or something like that to put these in, but if you're doing more than a few, I recommend going out and buying something like this. It's a post pounder, and it'll make your job a whole lot easier. This one has a little spring in it to make it come up a little easier. This one is a little thinner, and this one is more specific for these smaller fiberglass posts. They're closer to the post, and so they go in a little straighter. Yeah, they cost about $30-40, but they're well worth it if you're putting in a bunch of posts over time. So yeah, this one is more of a fiberglass or a non-metal type material. This one happens to be Gallagher. It has a clip that you can put on all the way down, different places. What is really nice about this, beside the fact that it's not metal, is that this one, and there are others out there, but they bend. So like this little portion here will let it move. So if a cow comes up, rubs up against this, or rubs their chin on it on top, it'll go back and forth, and then when they leave, it'll pop back up straight, and you're good to go. So they don't break very easy. I think this one comes with like a 10-year warranty. I have returned a couple after they broke, and I haven't had any trouble with a couple different places returning it and getting a new one. So they stand behind their stuff. Next, we have three types of more portable type of step-in posts. And the first one we're going to talk about is tread-in. We're going to start with two that I do not recommend. These both came from Tractor Supply Company. They have other products there that are great. These particular two posts I do not recommend, and here's why. This first white one seems like a decent design. Unfortunately, these little clips here on the side, the wire goes in easy, but it does not come out easy. You got to use two hands, one to move the clip out, the other one to lift the wire up and out. What makes these particularly bad is that after one or two uses, the clips break and then they're useless. So yeah, don't waste your money on these guys. The next one is a more fiberglass one. They too have this here it's easy to get the wire in, hard to get the wire out, and they break frequently. This other side This is a little bit more of a one-hand type operation, but they too break. Not as frequently, but they do break. So yeah, and then they have a really small place to put your foot. It's a large post going into the ground, so it's hard to get into a harder surface. Yeah, so this, with other ones out there that are similar cost, I just don't recommend these two. There are brands out there like Gallagher, O'Brien's, maybe some others that make a tread-in post that are very good quality. They do not break. They might bend, but you can bend them back. I haven't had any issues with these at all. They have a place to put the wire all the way down. You can use both your thin wire and your tape if it's a little bit thicker. This Gallagher one has a pretty thin base to put your foot, but it comes with a point on the tip already. I hear the O'Brien's, I haven't used them. I hear really good things about them. I hear they have a little bit larger place to put your foot. And yeah, so these are really good. The only downside is you can only fit about 4 or 5 of them in your hand. I have medium-sized gloves, and anything more than that, you have to kind of put underneath your arm. And then when you bring one out, sometimes they get caught and they fall out of your arm, and you look like a crazy infomercial where everything is a headache, and it's really not that bad, but it is a little bit of a pain sometimes. So something to consider. Your next step is a pigtail type of post. They make a whole bunch of different kinds. This orange one is a Gallagher. This white one is, I don't know the brand, but it came from either Home of Economy or TSC. They're both good quality. They are really good for going around corners if you want to put a bend in your line instead of just going straight. The Gallagher's a little bit heavier duty, but they both work great. I would just go with whatever's cheapest. I think these are between $3 and $4. And yeah, they are the next step of ease as far as holding them in your hand. I can get about 10 or 12 of these in my hand. And they're a little easier to take out. However, they do get caught on occasion. You got these large pigtail things here. And then on the bottom, you have all this metal that gets caught. It's not the end of the world, but it does make things a little bit of a headache sometimes. Yeah, so otherwise, this is a metal rod that goes all the way through the pigtail. So you don't want to, really on any of these, you don't want to run your line all the way through. But some of the ones are like a plastic type material. These ones have metal inside, so they'll burn a hole here, and then they'll ground out. And then you'll have to figure out where the ground is coming from. They do, it's not the end of the world if you burn a hole in it. Like this one, I fixed. I just put some electrical liquid inside, and then I wrapped it with a heavy-duty electric tape, and now it's fine. But yeah, you gotta be careful of that. Where something like this, it'll burn through this whole thing, and it might put a hole in it and then fall off completely. So but it won't ground out. Your next step of posts are called ring top posts. These ones are awesome. These happen to be from Gallagher. I don't know if another brand makes these yet or not, yeah, these are super nice to put in your hand. The white one is a heavy-duty Gallagher. I can put about 10 or 12 of these in my hand. The orange one's a lighter duty. I can put about 15 or 20 of these in my hand easily, and go, all the way as far as I want. The only thing about like this light duty one is when you put it into the ground, if it's a really hard ground or a frozen ground, once you get to this plastic, it kind of stops. So it's not really great for going around corners, but it's really great for going in straight lines. If I'm going down a straight line, just moving my cows down a field one after the other, these are my go-to. I love these things. And then these white ones are a little more heavy duty. They have two metal pieces on the bottom. I recommend grinding a tip on any post that you get. So if you have this one, you got to grind two tips. But once you do it, you're done. Do it and forget about it. These are great for going around corners. They're stronger, but these ones cost a little more. Where this orange one is about $4, you know, in line with all the others. This white one is about $6, so it's definitely a step up. And when you have to buy 100 of them, you know, that's what, $200 worth, so it's a little extra cost. But these ones are great because they were designed top to bottom not to catch on each other. So if you have, you know, 20 of these in your hand, you pull one out, they'll slide right out. They don't catch very easily. Where the other ones, they do catch, and you kind of got to finagle it out a little bit. Now you'll notice, like these and the pigtails, you have the ring top or the pigtail top here to put the wire. It's great for cows or calves that are over like 400 or 500 pounds. But if you want to put a wire down below that, there is a solution. They make these clips. This one here, I think, came from PowerFlexFence.com. Or PowerFlexFencing.com, something like that. And they just, pretty easy, they just clip right on. Show you what I'm doing here. There we go. They just clip right on and you're good to go. And it's a one-hand operation, taking the line in and out. They slide to wherever you want them. And it provides you a really good solution that way. So, yeah, so there are your types. The only other thing to talk about as far as posts is storage. I really recommend having some type of a storage solution other than just throwing them on the ground, because when you want to grab a whole bunch at once and you're in a hurry, that way you don't have to grab one and put it in. And you can just go somewhere, grab a bunch, and go. I put some up on a wall, so you're like here, you can just grab a few and go. I have some T-posts also ready to go on the wall. I've seen people build shelving, you know, like half moon type things that put some in so they can just grab a bundle and go. Others put them up against a wall and use a bungee to hold them up. It's up to you. You can get creative, but yeah. So that's that. And then there is one more thing. This one here is called a PowerPost. This comes from PowerFlex fencing, and it holds your reels. And there's also little pieces in here to put your line in too. But this you can put out anywhere in your pasture. It kind of is like a nice little secure post, and then you can hang your reels on it all the way down, and you're good to go. So you can, this one here I think is about 115 bucks. You don't need very many of them to do what you need to, but they're not super cheap. If you're handy with a welder, you know, you can definitely probably make some yourself too. So, but they are definitely something to consider when talking about posts in the whole operation. So, anyway, hope that helps. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down in the comments section. I will be having more videos in the future, so feel free to just subscribe, and that way you don't miss out. And then lastly, just take a look at our website, NorthDakotaLivestock.com. You'll see information as far as learning how we do things on our ranch, how we take care of our animals. Yeah, so that's about that. Hope you stay safe out there and take care of your animals. All right, treat them with respect, and you'll get the most out of them. All right, take care, guys.